All right, perfect. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our team call tonight. My name is Audrey McLeod, calling in from Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm really excited that you are tuning in with us on this Sunday evening when you could be doing anything else in the world. You're here to become even a little bit better as a person to move your Isagenix business forward. So this coming up week, we have an in-person event in Knoxville, Tennessee at Lane and Chelsea Taylor's home. We are having an opportunity overview at 7 p.m. in their home. So if you have not already made that commitment to get there, come. Get into that home, bring your prospects into that home. Every time we meet once a month, it is a very powerful event that builds your belief. So we want to encourage you to come on Tuesday. Chelsea posted on Freedom Living Team all of the details regarding where it is. It's at their home. The address is on there, and it's at 7 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you there on Tuesday. So the title of this call this evening is The Mindset and Choices of a Champion. And really, this whole entire call really originated from some time that I was spending by myself this morning reflecting on my Isagenix journey. For those of you who are newer to our team, I've been with Isagenix for 7.5 years, fully engaged, fully building, caught the vision when I was 22 years old, and really made the decision that I was willing to do whatever it took to have the type of freedom that I saw other people who I esteemed from very close to me and people who I esteemed from afar. And I saw what was possible. And I said, if they're doing it, why not me? And so today I was looking at older pictures of really the journey and the process that I was on prior to James and I meeting and prior to him joining Isagenix, and then him coming into Isagenix, us falling in love, getting married, and becoming one of the youngest millionaires in Isagenix at 26.
Can you guys hear her? Did she go dark? Okay. Okay. Pause. Let me get her. Let me get her real quick. Hold on. She's still rolling. Hold on. All right, guys, we're getting it sorted right now. Little tech issue. Seems like I need to have my computer dropped off at the old Macintosh store. It is reconnecting now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around so that you can just keep on going.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to share with you. All right, awesome. So I'm going to share with you a couple of these photos.
Can you guys see that? Thumbs up?
Well, they're just seeing the connecting aspect, but maybe I can move this. There we go. Okay, so when I first started my Isagenix business, we did a lot of in-person events. There wasn't a week that went by that I wasn't hosting an in-person event. I invited people into my parents' home. I was still living with of my Isagenix business. Nobody showed up to the house. Nobody came. Not one person showed up. And I set up that table, as you can see right there. I set up the table and I set up the whiteboard to show people the compensation plan, and nobody came. But slowly and slowly, through perseverance and through really this burning passion for what Isagenix could be for my life, I began to see one person trickling in. And that one person turned into two. And that second person turned into three. And pretty soon, over time, from a week-to-week basis, we were having 60 to 70. One time there were even like 90 people who came into our upper room to get a glimpse of what Isagenix could be. This didn't happen overnight. This took a lot of concise decision making on a daily basis to have the success and to see everything that I wanted to see happen in my Isogenics business. And what I did was I continued to show up. I continued to speak. I continued to cast the vision day after day, week after week, month after month. I posted up in coffee shops with bright neon clothing, with a laptop in hand and my headphones in my ear, and I was willing to put in the work every single day to serve other people. There wasn't a day that went by that I wasn't doing something to grow myself as a person, to become and to have the mindset of a champion, to learn what choices that I needed to make on a daily basis, in order to have the success that I desired. Now, everything that I'm gonna be sharing with you tonight are things that I have done, things that I have learned through mentors, things that I have learned through previous failures, mistakes that I've made, and also things that I'm continuing to learn. So every single day I was doing something to grow my mind. This was an event that we had in the upper room where it was just a training event. I said, come, let me teach you how to draw the compensation plan out. Come, let me show you what's possible. And people came in. It was a consistent thing. Nobody ever questioned whether or not I was going to show up, because I made the decision that I was going to show up. When nobody was looking, I would put in the work in my mind. I would research. I would learn what I needed to learn to become a better leader. I had a lot of fun. I really wasn't professional in the beginning of growing my business, but what did I do? Anybody that was willing, I didn't know who had the potential to grow. I didn't know who was going to be somebody that caught the vision. In fact, every single person who's in this picture right now, they're no longer with me in Isogenics. But I still continue to show up because I didn't know if one person from this group would catch the vision like I did. And it began to grow. And more people began to come. And this was an event in Knoxville. We had over 200 people come. This is 4 years in to building Isogenics. And the team began to grow, and leaders began to pop up and show, and they began to show up for their team. This was a picture where I met one person, this girl right here, who had a connection with Tennessee Wesleyan, and this was a sorority group. This was a sorority group that I went to share with them how they could make a little extra income to take them through college so they wouldn't have to graduate with student loan debt. And I showed up. She is still with us here on this team, and every single one of these girls, lots of them enrolled to use the products. None of them are still with us today, but you know who is still with us? I'm still here, still showing up, still casting the vision. She is still here, still using the product. She became a Crystal executive. Why? Because she saw that I was so determined to become the champion leader that I knew that she needed to see in order for her to become all that she needed to become. Here's a picture right here. I want to show this picture to you. Many of you have seen this picture. Maybe some of you haven't. But where is this picture? Okay, here's a picture. This is the very first picture where James and I, there's James, he's wearing a rock star tank top, rock star energy. This is the very first time that James and I had met. This is his sister, Allie, who still creates an amazing residual income today because of the decision that she made in 2014 to join this team. This was the first time that we met, and every single one of these people ended up enrolling because right here, if you zoom in right there, I'm showing them the compensation plan. I failed forward. It wasn't perfect. It was messy, but my passion and my excitement for my vision with Isogenics was so big and so bright that I needed to infuse that to the people who were around me. Every single one of these people all said yes to Isogenics. She's still in Isogenics. She's still in Isogenics. James is in Isogenics. He's in Isogenics. She's still in Isogenics, and he's in Isogenics. So 3 people out of this photo are no longer with us. But out of these, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people out of this photo who are still with us. Now I share these photos with you, you guys, to show you the work that I put in to have the beautiful ISA life that you see on Instagram, which social media at this point was really non-extinct. Like, look at this photo that I posted on my Instagram. Like, you can barely see anything that's happening right there, okay? Like, what is even going on? We're at a Mexican restaurant, of course we are. We love Mexican food, but what is really going on here? I don't really even know. But I wanted to show this to you because I wanted you to see how many times I showed up as a leader every single day for the people that are no longer here. But most importantly, for all of you who are still on this line and who've tuned in tonight because you see the fire, you see the vision, you want to see it happen. And the life that we've been able to create because we made the decision that we're never going to throw in the towel. So I wanted you to see all of the times that I showed up behind the scenes when nobody was watching me, to in front of the rooms of teaching and coaching and leading from the front, to being in the back and watching other people grow and lead, other people share and connect. I wanted you to see the people who are here today with us that started in the very beginning and the people who aren't. And that's okay, because in network marketing, there are going to be people who come and there are going to be people that go. But I wanted to really paint this picture, and I'm going to come back to me. I don't know if your computer's working now or what I need to do to flip this around. Maybe I'll just do it on your phone. There we go. Thanks, James. You're just going to hold it for me tonight. I wanted you to see this, guys. I wanted this to be really, really real to you. Because today, as I was looking at these photos, there's no accident. There's no accidental success in Isogenics. There might be an anomaly of somebody who gets put on a team, they have a blown out leg and they enroll one person and they become an Isogenics millionaire. Okay, maybe there's 1 in a million that happens to. There's no secret formula to success. But what I want to share with you tonight is I want to share with you the mindset and choices of a champion. Because today, as I was reflecting on the journey of the choices that I made, I was so convicted and so excited to level up my own life 7.5 years in. To level up my own life, to move the needle forward in my Isogenics business, and to help you guys on this call move the needle forward for you. So your success and the mindset and choices of a champion, your success is greater than talent. Success is greater than talent. What do I mean by that? I mean, talent alone, in and of itself, having a vibrant personality or having a big network in Isogenics that you can connect with, or somebody who's already of influence, or somebody who looks a certain way, or somebody who has a very outgoing personality. Talent is not enough in order to have success. Purely talent alone. It's the choices that you make on a daily basis that set someone apart to have extraordinary results. So no matter how talented you are, how vivacious you may be, how wonderful of a teacher you may be, how great you can articulate your words, you might be someone that smiles to every stranger, and that may be a talent of yours that can be something that produces fruit in your Isogenics business. That's not enough. It's making right choices every single day that sets somebody apart to be even 1% better. 1% better the following day. So when you give your best today
in your Isagenix business. It's only your best right here and right now in this moment. The choice that you make today to show up on this call, you are giving your best, showing up, turning your video on, being engaged, writing things down, being inspired by my failures, being inspired by these pictures. Today, you're making the best choice that you can by being on this call. But today's best is tomorrow's flooring. What do I mean by that? Today's best is tomorrow's flooring. Your best today isn't your best tomorrow. It's the flooring, which means that you can always become 1% better. So the mindset of a champion, in order to become even a little bit better, you guys, it's the choices that you're going to make tomorrow in your Isagenix business after you get off the call, or maybe it's the choice that you're going to make right after you get off of this call to go in and get into action so that you can be a little bit better to make your dreams become a reality. So I'm going to share with you a couple things of the choices of a champion, the choices that I made and I continue to make on a daily basis, because my fire with Isagenix is only burning brighter. In the beginning, my fire was I needed the financial and the time freedom. I wanted this so badly, I had to have it for myself. Well, when I achieved that, the burning desire for me no longer was about myself. I so deeply and so desperately want to celebrate Marbelle this coming up week, because I want to link arms with her so that we can celebrate her hitting manager. I so desperately want Eric and Kelsey to hit crystal manager next week, that what am I going to do? It's not enough for me to have that success. I've got to help our team have that success as well. So I'm going to share with you a couple things that you can do to improve your talent in Isagenix. Because we all have talent. We know that this is a skill-based business. But here we've got a couple things that I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you of what you can do to improve your talent. So the first thing is belief. Belief lifts your talent. Belief lifts your talent. So how do you grow your belief on a daily basis in your Isagenix business? Well, number one, you use the products. You put them in your body. Every single day, I have a BIA because of what I feel it do to my brain. And every single day, I'm like, my gosh, everybody needs to put a BIA inside of their body. Especially now that I'm pregnant, I'm like, this is a total game changer for my whole entire world. This is amazing. So belief, using the products. How do you grow your belief? I know, Derek, you are a BIA, okay? If I ever think of anybody who is a BIA, Derek Hightower, it is you. You listen to podcasts. You ingrain into your mind the belief. Get on Isagenix business podcast. Listen to John Maxwell Leadership. Listen to For the Love of Money. Listen to podcasts that are going to grow and develop and bring you one little bit more of an improvement today than you were yesterday. Listen to the testimonies. Read testimonies of other people in Isagenix who have had success. Listen to the mistakes that they've made. It will grow your belief. When we went to visit Herb and Patty Cepeda, top income earners, the people who introduced me to Isagenix, we're sitting with them in their $1 million home on the lake, and my belief in Isagenix is growing because I am surrounding myself and hearing the stories of where they started. Hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt. And this is the life they created with Isagenix. I left their home and I said, babe, there's nothing that we can't do. We can do it all. Build and grow. Your belief lifts your talent. Your passion energizes your talent. What is your passion in Isagenix? Why why are you doing this? This is going to energize your talent. This is going to put on the mindset, which is going to engage the choices of becoming a champion. Is it you want that additional bill paid for? Is it that you want financial freedom? Your why is ever evolving and it's ever changing. And maybe you've been in Isogenics for 6 years and you are at the $50,000 a year mark and you say, I want a 6-figure income. My passion is to have a 6-figure income. It's my why, it's what drives me, because if I can have a 6-figure income, I will be able to pay off my house. This house that I bought, that I have X amount of money, I can pay it off. What your passion is going to energize you to do the things every single day to make yourself a little bit better. And that flooring becomes your ceiling. That ceiling becomes your flooring, and the very next day you get to continue to go up from there. Initiative activates your talent. Taking initiative, getting on the Penny app. It's never been more simple than it is right now for you to stay organized. Taking initiative to follow up with people, taking initiative to schedule a comp plan call, taking initiative to invite somebody over to the Taylor's house on Tuesday. Taking initiative activates that talent. You have these things that are stored inside of you. It is our job to be disciplined, to bring them out if we want to be the champions that all of us have the capability of being and becoming. Initiative activates it. Responsibility strengthens your talent. Taking full and radical responsibility of everything that's happened in your Isogenics business thus far. Never playing the blame game, never saying she doesn't want to enroll right now, this person doesn't have the money. Taking initiative and saying, I'm taking full responsibility of everything that I'm doing. Well, I'm just going to connect with somebody else. That mindset of a champion of saying, oh, I'm going to just connect with more people. I just have yet to find that. That is a mindset of a champion that attracts specific people into your organization, that causes you to go from 1 cycle a week to 5 cycles a week. And guys, I've seen people go from 5 cycles a week to 10 cycles a week within weeks of one person joining their organization, because they put on the mindset of a champion and said, I am going to take responsibility. I'm going to take responsibility. Okay, focus directs your talent. Focus directs your talent. Being disciplined with what's at hand. Being disciplined in saying, okay, I know that today, this morning, I woke up and I really wanted to continue to lay in my bed. And I really wanted to sleep in, but I knew that if I could just go to the gym and if I could just walk for 20 minutes, if I could stay disciplined and focused, what would happen is my brain would become more engaged, my thoughts would become more engaged, and my talents would become more effective. I would become more effective, a more effective leader, and put on the mindset of a champion. I made one little choice today to get up when I really didn't feel like it, but I knew that it would be better for me if I did. And through that focus, it turned into something so much greater today of becoming a little bit better. Okay, the next one is preparation. Preparation positions talent. Preparation of you taking the time to prepare for the event that you have coming up. Getting there an hour early to get your mind in the right place, to turn on the lights, to flip on the music. The mindset and the choice of a champion isn't to just roll up and to just throw things together. The mindset of a champion is to prepare for what's before you. Whether you're getting on a call, 10 minutes before the call, you center yourself. You listen to happy music. You repeat affirmations over who you are. over the person that you're talking to. Maybe you're gonna pray that God would just open up your mouth. You're preparing for the event. This is what champions do. They prepare for the task at hand. Practice sharpens your talent. We say this all the time, you guys, but every master was once a disaster. And when you practice the skills necessary to grow your Isagenix business, you become better. You're practicing the compensation plan. You're practicing being better at social media. Perseverance sustains that talent. Perseverance in your mind, in your growth, pushing through. When the hard times come, you persevere and you say, I'm going to become and put on the mindset of a champion. Relationships influence your talent. Take a second to think of the people who you're surrounding yourself with now. To look at the goals that you have for your life, for your marriage, for your Isagenix business. Are the people that you're surrounding with influencing you in a positive way or in a negative way? Relationships influence your talent. So when you're looking at Isagenix, are you being proactive to say, hey, I'm gonna reach out to somebody? Marbella is actually someone who inspires me when it comes to the relationship influencing talent. I asked her, I said, hey, let's get together for a power hour tomorrow. We're going for a manager, let's do this. She said, well, I'm already meeting with a couple people on Freedom Living team, so can you do X, Y, and Z? She seeks people out that inspires her and gets around other people that can make her better. She doesn't wait for people to ask her. She makes the initiative to go and to grow in those relationships so that she can become better. And then finally, the last one is teamwork multiplies talent. Teamwork multiplies your talent. In the beginning of your Isagenix build, this is going to be about your goals. It's going to be about you reaching what you want to reach so that you can get your products paid for. And then it's going to turn into you paying for extra bills, and then it'll turn into you having financial freedom. But soon it will turn into your mindset being more about the people in your organization, more about you leading those people, and everything that I just shared with you of putting on the mindset and choices of a champion on a daily basis. Your example will lead your team to follow in suit what you do. Kid nobody. There is no part about what James and I have achieved that has been a me thing. I've made the choices. I've put on the mindset of the champion, but this has never been about me. This is never going to be about Jennifer Higgins. This is never going to be about Carrie Moss. This is never going to be about Jordan. This is going to be about we as a team collectively bringing each other up, encouraging one another, teaching them the things that you've learned on this call, and taking the time to invest in other people so that you can help them become better, teaching them the compensation plan, inviting them to these calls, inviting them to get on the morning calls, leading them to become better. Teamwork multiplies your cycles. Teamwork multiplies your success. The greatest, most influential people in this world have the most amazing team behind them who have greater talents than they do, but because of the teamwork aspect, it launches them further. So in this coming up week, guys, put on the mind of a champion. Make the decision that your choices are going to be that of a champion. Because when you put on the mindset coupled with the choices of the champion, your talents grow. You become a little bit better each day. The people who you're connecting with are attracted to what it is that you have to offer them because they're seeing an energetic shift in you. So I am committed this coming up week to make decisions to become a little bit better, to put on the mindset of the champion and to make the choices of a champion that I know is going to cause this team to go to the next level. So when we get off this call this evening, take just 5 minutes to assess this coming up week for you and to write out some of the choices that you're going to make. I told James, I said, I'm 3 days this week because it's really healthy for my body to get in an Epsom salt bath. 3 decisions that I'm making this week is to do that for my baby because it will be better for him if I do that. That is one decision that I'm making to become a little bit better. And that decision that I'm making to become a little bit better overflows into Isogenics. That decision that I make to get onto an Isogenics podcast every single morning is going to activate me in order to connect on the Penny app. So what are you going to do this week to become a little bit better, to put on the mindset and to make the choices to become a champion? So thank you for tuning into this call this evening, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday on this call, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. Bye, everyone.